Have you ever been caught lying about your age when you were actually telling the truth? I turned 35 last month, but apparently my face didn't get the memo. People have been guessing I'm in my early 20s since I was actually in my early 20s. At first it was flattering, now it's just exhausting. Last week I was denied entry to a bar because the bouncer thought my ID was fake. Nice try, he smirked, handing back my completely legitimate driver's license. This says you're 35. I am 35. You look 22 at most. This ID isn't real. I pulled out my passport. He studied it suspiciously. You could have faked both. Who fakes multiple government documents to make themselves older? He called his manager. The manager examined my face like I was a lab specimen, comparing it to the photo repeatedly. They eventually let me in, but only after I showed them credit cards, insurance cards, and a utility bill with matching information, all for a glass of wine. But that wasn't the worst incident. Last year, I started dating someone I met at a professional conference. Tristan was 38, successful, mature. We'd been seeing each other for 3 months when he asked my age. I'm 34, I told him. His face fell. Please tell me the truth. That is the truth. I'll be 35 in October. There's no way you're 34. I've been doing the math based on your stories, and nothing adds up unless you're lying about your age by at least a decade. I showed him my license. He shook his head. IDs can be faked. Why would I fake an ID to make myself older? To seem more mature, to relate to me better. I don't know, but I know you're not 34. He broke up with me the next day. He said he couldn't trust someone who lied about something so basic. No amount of documentation would convince him. He'd decided I was a liar, and my actual birth certificate couldn't overcome that conviction. I called my mother crying. Sweetheart, she sighed. I looked young my whole life too. Your grandmother was carded at 45. It's genetic, and it's a curse disguised as a blessing. She wasn't wrong. The problems have been constant. I was denied alcohol purchases well into my 30s. I've been mistaken for an intern at every job I've ever held. I was asked for my parents' permission at a car dealership when I was 29 and trying to buy a sedan with cash. The professional consequences are real. Colleagues don't take me seriously. Clients assume I'm too young to have expertise. I was passed over for a promotion because, according to the feedback, I didn't seem senior enough, even though I had more experience than the person they chose. I started dressing more conservatively, wearing minimal makeup, trying to look my age. It didn't help. Someone suggested I deliberately age myself with gray hair dye and strategic wrinkles. I considered it seriously. The final straw came at my high school reunion. The organizers had hired security to check IDs because the event was at a venue that served alcohol. The guard looked at my license, looked at me and said, "Ma'am, this event is for the class of 2007. I graduated in 2007. I'm 35 years old. This ID says 35, but you don't look a day over 25. That's my actual age." A former classmate had to vouch for me. She'd sat next to me in homeroom for 4 years. Even then, the guard looked skeptical. By the end of the night, 3 separate people had asked if I was someone's daughter or niece who'd snuck in. No one believed I was actually a member of the graduating class. I've started carrying a folder of documentation everywhere. Birth certificate, passport, driver's license, employee ID, anything with my age on it. I call it my proof of existence kit. Last week, a younger coworker asked how I stay looking so youthful. Genetics and constant frustration, I told her. Trust me, you don't want this. She laughed like I was joking. I wasn't. Looking young sounds like a gift until you realize credibility has an age requirement and your face doesn't qualify.